everyone. Welcome back to Catching Up with Kim. Yes, John is not here today because she's in Texas visiting family this week. And so I thought I would do a Catching Up with Kim. I've done a lot, but not that much. I guess it's a lot. So last weekend, very last minute, my husband and I decided to get away for the weekend. And we decided to go to the North Fork of Long Island, partly because, well, we love it there. We were there last November, but also a yarn shop out there that I had visited last November. It just did a big remodel and a grand reopening and a rebranding. So the new yarn shop name is North Fork Fiber Arts, and it's owned by Karen. And I did see Mary Alice again. Mary Alice works there, and also Stephanie. And I also contacted Maureen, one of our viewers, and because I know she lives out there, and she met me there, and we got to shop for yarn together, catch up a little bit. It was really nice. So the shop is beautiful. For the sake of easier editing, typically in our catching up videos, we don't do a lot of editing. No captioning, really not that much editing at all. But for the sake of ease, I did take some pictures and a little video. I don't really know what will work for this, but I'll put it at the very end of the video. But anyway, it's a beautiful shop. Please, if you're ever out on the east end of Long Island, go there, shop, support Karen. And I did buy some things. I went out there, a couple friends of mine, one of them, a new grandbaby was just born last week, and the other one is going to have a new grandbaby. And so I found these cute patterns by Love Fibers, Julie Taylor. Aren't these adorable? They're called the Kenzie Embroidered Baby Bonnet and the Kenzie Embroidered Cardigan. And I've never done embroidery on knitwear, and I love this bonnet look. So I thought I would knit 2 sets of those for my 2 friends' new grandchildren. And one is a girl, so that's good. So I got this beautiful pink Echo Baby from Lane du Nord, made in Italy. Really pretty. That'll be for the girl. And I got this. I'm sure I have scrap yarn to use, but I got this Manos del Uruguay Alegria kind of ivory to do the embroidery in case I can't find something else at home. So that's for the girl. So you're thinking you're going to make a cardigan and a bonnet with embroidery for a boy? No, I'm just not going to do the embroidery. I'll do, the pattern is gorgeous. The basic cardigan and the basic bonnet in this beautiful green for a boy. So same yarn, Echo Baby. Really excited about that. So that was fun shopping for that. I also saw this on the end of an aisle. Can you see it's sparkly? It is so crazy. But my voice teacher loves this color combination, so I thought maybe I could make something for her. I recently made her a Monster Cables beanie for Christmas, but I don't know. We'll see if I can make something with that. Lana Gatto Candy, it's called. It's just really crazy. Crazy yarn. Anyway, so that was a really fun weekend. We also, on Sunday when we were leaving, all of us, it was gorgeous weather, so I said, honey, let's go out to, what's it called? Montauk Lighthouse. I have never been out to Montauk Point, all the way out to the lighthouse. So he was all for it. So we drove out there, and unfortunately it's under construction, so you couldn't get really close to it, but I got to sit on a bench, and actually, yes, I'm currently knitting my Here Comes the Sun. I've had to rip it back here and there, which you'll hear more obviously in episode 17, but it's looking beautiful. Here Comes the Sun by Olga Patano in Julie Asseline yarn. So I love it. I'm so happy with it. So I sat on a bench out there near the lighthouse, and I did some knitting, and he did some photography. He collects cameras. So I do have a picture of him with his camera, maybe his fancy new, looks old, new camera. And so maybe I'll insert that at the end as well. And then on the way back, we stopped by, my husband has twin sisters, and one of them lives in his actually childhood home. So they were having a family dinner because the twin sisters just had a birthday, and also one of the sisters' daughters, so our niece, also just had a birthday. So I had been intending to knit them some Monster Cables beanies. I know you're thinking you are crazy. So far my number right now is 24, 27 I've knit. So this would be 28, 29, and 30. So I already had some yarn actually, and at least one of these pom-poms. So I already had this purple yarn and I brought it with me and they loved it. So this will be for the mother and daughter matching. And I just knit these yesterday and today. And I already had this pom-pom and I just went to pick up a restitch today and got this one. So I love those. And then the other twin sister, I had brought this yarn with me and showed it to her because I already had it. It's all Malabrigo. It has a knot in it. Anyway, and she liked this one. And I already had this pom-pom. But I hope the wind isn't too noisy and the mailman just went by. Anyway, so I showed her this and she loved it. And then today when I went to buy the other pom-poms, I had forgotten my yarn and I wanted to sit there and knit. So I bought this. I thought, oh, maybe that'll do instead. But I don't know. I think I like this one better for my sister-in-law. But I'm sure I can give this away. Pawn it off to somebody. Anyway, so that was fun. I just totally out of order now. But I went to pick up every stitch today and sat there and knitted for a little while. But yeah, so that was our weekend. And then on Tuesday, this week, my husband had to have some really long medical tests done. So I drove him into New York City, and they're very stressful tests. So I didn't stay with him. I would have just had to sit in the waiting room. So I thought, what can I do that's really happy and fun while he's there getting these tests done? So I took a taxi all the way up to I was on kind of the, I wouldn't say lower east side, but definitely the east side, midtown, lower midtown. I took a taxi all the way up to the upper west side to Nitty City. I had never been there before. And it's such a lovely little shop. I'll also insert some footage or video. I don't even know what I did at Nitty City. But I went in and I just did a slow walk around the shop. And then I started chatting with Nancy, who works there. And I told her, she asked where I was from, and I told her that I was killing time while my husband was in these medical tests. And she said, well, sit down and knit and relax. So that was really sweet. So I did. I sat down. I was actually knitting the Monster Cables beanies. And so I got to talk to Nancy. She's just lovely. And I got to talk to, who else did I talk to? Jane works there. And Sean works there, and I got to talk to all of them. And they told me about the original owner, Pearl, who has recently passed away in the last couple of years. And now her son, Zachary, or Zach, owns it, and he was there. Didn't get to talk to him, though. It was kind of busy while I was there. But it was really lovely just to sit there and relax. And what a warm, wonderful place to have be your local yarn shop. Or if you're visiting New York City, you have to go to Nitty City. I'm sure you've all heard of it. I have honestly, now that's only my third yarn shop I've ever been to in New York City. The first one was years and years ago. I went to get one knitting needle at a place on the Upper West Side that was on the second floor, which isn't there anymore. I literally walked in, bought the knitting needle, and drove home. Yeah, that's how desperate you are when you're a knitter. You'll drive an hour into the city to buy one knitting needle and then drive home. And then the next time I was at a shop in the city was earlier last year when my husband was had some medical appointments. I went to Downtown Yarns, and that place was great too. But I just loved Nitty City, loved it. I happened to wear my Amina there because I wear it almost every day. And Nancy asked if she could take pictures and interview me a little bit, because I guess Nitty City on their Instagram does like Sunday show and tell. And they feature customers who are wearing wonderful objects that they've knitted. And I was really impressed because it isn't even yarn I bought there or anything. I just happened to walk in the door and they loved my sweater. So that was really sweet. Thank you, Nancy, for asking. I felt very special. I did buy something while I was there. So I mentioned this yarn that I got out at North Fork Fiber Arts. What I was really looking for also from my voice teacher was yarn to make her a ranunculus. Sometime last year, I wore my green ranunculus to voice lesson. She flipped out about this sweater. and she wants one. She would love to have one in basic black because she does a lot of concerts, and sitting still for a while, waiting to sing or waiting to play the piano or waiting to conduct something, she can get chilly. Often when you're kind of a classical musician, you have to wear concert black, all black. So she wants a black ranunculus. So I started looking for yarn. And so while I was at Knitty City, I found, of course, Woolfolk yarn is gorgeous. So if I don't use this Woolfolk tinned for her ranunculus, I'm sure I can use it for something else. And then I'm waiting to hear back. I don't know if she wants a little sparkle in it, but in case she does, I could hold this Lana Grossa, like a sparkly silk mohair with it. So we'll see. I'll swatch with and without and see what she likes and what the gauge is and what it looks like. But yeah, so that was my trip to Knitty City, and it definitely just made the kind of stressful trip into the city so worth it. And I sat there literally until I had to take a taxi back down to pick my husband up. And yes, I did drive to the city, but I didn't want to drop him off, drive all the way up to the west side, drive back down, pick him up. So I parked near his doctor's appointment, and that's why I took a taxi there and back. Anyway, too much information. But when we left, he was hungry because he hadn't eaten for hours. So it was a short walk to Grand Central. There's a food court and down in the lower level. And so we went and had lunch. It was really nice at, I think it's called Tartine. Oh my goodness, so delicious. You gotta go there. And then when we were leaving there, he wanted to stop at one of his favorite chocolate shops and get chocolates. What a good way to relieve stress. Sorry, it's crinkly. But we stopped at Lilac. I know probably everything's backwards because I'm filming with my camera reversed on my iPhone, but Lilac chocolates are in the Grand Central Marketplace. So we stopped there. Oh, that smells, I can smell it through the paper. It smells so good. So we stopped there. But anyway, that's basically it. As I said, I went to pick up every stitch today, and I bought more stuff, but I'll share that in another day, of course, because there's already a lot. But one other thing I'm super excited about is, ta-da! I got my Neons and Neutrals book in the mail. I had pre-ordered it. And so I have to stick my autographed book plate in. I was going to do it really quickly before this, but I was afraid I'd get it all crooked. So it's a sticker that Amy Gilles signed when we went to the Yarnia event. So I'm really excited to really slowly look through the book and pick out some future things that I want to knit. So I think that's it. And yes, I'm wearing my kaleidoscope cardi. Yay! I wear this a lot too. But I already talked about that in episode 16. So anyway, that's it. I just want to, oh, here comes a big wind. I hope this doesn't fall over. And my hair, I definitely need to get it dyed again. All my roots are showing, but who cares? Anyway, so it's great to catch up with you and say hi. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I personally can't wait for Jonna to get back home. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye. I am in New York City right now. I had to drop my husband off at a doctor appointment, and it's going to be a long 4-hour appointment. So I decided to come uptown and go to Nitty City. I've never been there. I did go to their booth at VogueNet Live in New York City recently, and they told me where their location was, and I don't think they open until 12 o'clock today, but I'm going to go in there and just hang out and then maybe find a coffee shop and knit and have a coffee